it's the Rawesome Vegan Gal here, and today I'm going to be introducing to you some products from a company called Grainaissance, and I'm going to be introducing you to their Mochi. This is actually one of the packages of Mochi, and first I want to thank George for all his help and efforts in getting me all the products. So if you're not familiar with Mochi, I'm going to talk to you about Mochi, what it is, what you can do with it, how you can prepare it. So first I want to also thank him for sending me this t-shirt. I'm not wearing it because I need to wear an apron since I'm in the kitchen. But this is a really nice t-shirt. It says Mochi on the front, bake and serve rice squares. And on the back, it shows you all their different varieties. They have 6 different varieties. And their products are all low-fat, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, cholesterol-free, and kosher. So there actually are varieties for all your types of taste buds. If you want just plain, so they have their original Mochi, and it comes in a 12.5-ounce package, and they are perishable, so you need to keep them refrigerated. Then for those of you who have a sweet tooth, there's Mochi with raisin and cinnamon. There's also Mochi with chocolate brownie with walnuts. That sounds really good. And also Cashew-Date. And then for those of you who like savory, there is the Sesame-Garlic Mochi. And also the Super Seed Mochi. So I'm going to talk to you more about Mochi and what it is all about, and then prepare some things with the Mochi as well, and talk to you about recipe ideas as well. And also, I don't know if they send this when you get Mochi, but you could probably request it, that this is a nice little booklet they send out on recipes and serving ideas for Mochi, in case you've never used Mochi before and you'd like to know how to use it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mochi. So let me find the information here. So Mochi, like I said, it's gluten-free, especially for those with allergies. That's why it's really good, because it's only made from rice. And it has low fat content, it's higher in carbs, no sodium. They don't add any salt to it. And they use organic sweet brown rice. Now, how has it become like this is because Mochi, sweet rice, is actually a glutinous rice. It's not gluten, it's just glutinous. So it means it's sticky. So I don't know the process of how they make it into this kind of cakes. But I know I've actually, myself, have done it where we take the rice and we pound it and it becomes sticky. And then I don't know how you process it the way they do. But that's how we did. We pounded it with a mallet in a big container. And let me see if they talk to you a little bit more about Mochi. So it says Mochi is a delicious alternative to bread and pastries. It's made with all natural ingredients. There are no wheat, barley, rye, or oats, so it is gluten-free. It puffs up as a wonderful snack, so you just cut it into squares and bake for 10 minutes, or you could do it on the stove as well. And I'll show you, I'm going to be doing that today. And when done, these are soft and chewy on the inside and crunchy on the outside. And other things you can do with them, like I say, you can stuff them with puffs with filling, dip them into sauces, make hors d'oeuvres, make waffles. I'm going to be doing that as well today. Make your own pizza. Use it as a crust. It's also good for vegetable dishes, casseroles, and desserts. And so how you would do it in the oven is you would preheat your oven or toaster to 450. Cut them into pieces about 1 inch wide. And then cut them into it says 4 or 5 pieces. It says bake for 8 to 10 minutes until they're puffed and browned. It's just, so again, they should be crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. And that's how you would make it. So some other ideas too you could do. What's really nice is use it, grate it. I have a grater here to show you, 2 different sizes. So if you want to make pizza and you're not using dairy, it's a great alternative. You would grate it whole. You take it out of the package and just grate the whole thing. If you're making pizza, put that as your cheese layer. Or if you want to make like even lasagna, and you put it in the same way. Another fun idea would be to make Mochi skewers, where you would put them on a skewer after you bake them. Otherwise, I don't think they would fit on there. And then you would put some kind of a sauce or topping on it as well. I thought that would be a nice way to do it. So what I'm going to do today is, since the plain one is just plain brown rice and water, I'm probably not going to do that one. But just to tell you some of the nutritional information here. So for a 1 ounce, which is 1.5 ounce, I should say 2.2 inch piece, it's 110 calories. It's got 24 grams of carbohydrates, which is 8%. It's got 4% iron. It's got a little bit of protein. Everything else is not that much. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I will have a link below this video to the company's website so you can check out all they offer and how to get their products. So again, this is a great alternative for those of you who don't want to do dairy and want cheese. Because when you grate it and you melt it on a vegetable, like you can do a melt, what we call a mochi melt, and you melt it on the vegetables in like a frying pan or something or in the oven, it melts like cheese. And also you can add different ingredients to the mochi, especially the plain one, to get different flavors, especially if you want savory. I have things like nutritional yeast or dulse powder you can add to them when you grate it in there, and maybe mix a little bit of tahini in. Or other ideas too is I have coconut butter here. This is from a company called Artisana. Also their almond butter. So you could mix that into the mochi, and when you melt it on the vegetables, it gives it an interesting kind of a flavor. So I'm not going to do the plain one today. I think what I'm going to do is I have a cast iron pan on the stove, which I'll show you. It's actually warming up right now. It has a little bit of coconut oil in it. Here's the cast iron. It's quite heavy. So I'm just starting to preheat it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pieces in there. So I want to start that going. So I think what I'll do with that one today is I'm going to use one of the savory ones. I think I'm going to use the Sesame-Garlic. So I'm going to open up the package, see if it has a tab to open it, if it does. And then it has another plastic on the inside. So then I'm just going to cut that with a knife. And I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces to put in the frying pan so that you'll actually see it being made. And then I'll talk to you about the ingredients in some of the other products, what else they put in. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. So this is what the cake looks like. You didn't see it in the package because it was covered with the other wrap. So what I'm going to do here, if I can cut this down, trying to get it open. And I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces, small ones with the bigger knife. You can't really see that right now, but I'm just going to cut a slice. I'll show you once it's cut what it looks like. So I'm cutting it like that, and then I'm just going to make little pieces and put it in the fry pan. And I use cast iron because what's nice about cast iron is I just put a little bit of oil in there and let it do its work. So I have about 3, 4, 5, 7 pieces. So I'm going to just put that in the pan here. And starting to warm up. I'm going to just turn it up. You'll excuse my back for that you can't see me right now. I'm just going to turn it up a little, just so that it starts working. And I'm working with an electric stove, so it's a little different than gas. So I'm not sure how it's going to work. But while that's going, I'm just going to make sure I pay attention to that. So this mochi, I didn't tell you that it's traditionally Japanese food made from short grain sweet rice. Just so you know that. And so it's pronounced mochi. It's spelled M-O-C-H-I. And so this one that I put into the fry pan is the Sesame-Garlic variety. And the ingredients in here are the rice, the water. They use brown sesame seeds, garlic, onion, aramay seaweed as well, and wheat-free tamari. So that is that one. So while that's going, the other thing I thought would be nice to show you how to do is I have this waffle maker. Something easy if you want to make waffles. So you just put the pieces in there, you cut pieces, you put them in, and then they'll turn into waffles, and then you can always make a sauce for them. So I think for that one, I'm going to use one of the sweet varieties. So let's see which one I will try. I think I'm going to try the Cashew-Date. That sounds really good. So the Cashew-Date one has dates, cashews, cinnamon, natural vanilla, and sea salt. So this one does have salt. The plain one does not. I think that's the only one, excuse my face for not being in the camera. The plain one does not have salt. I believe the others, they use very minimal amount. So it's just only 1%. So I'm going to open this one up. And what I'm going to do is I'm not sure if you're supposed to preheat the waffle maker or not. So I'm just going to plug it in and open it up. And then I'll open up the package here of the Cashew-Date. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to go check on the stove just to see how we're doing here. And they're starting to stick a little, which is good. They're going to start to make that a little bit higher. Hopefully, there's enough oil on there that they don't stick too much. So, what you're supposed to do, I think, with a waffle maker is put them on top of the grooves. And let's see here. I'm going to get my smaller knife to cut it open. And let's see, just get it across here. And then I'll talk to you about the others, and also I'll talk to you about some of the other nutritional information on some of the other products. So I have to make sure I have the right length here, because I think this might be a little longer than the actual, so I might have to take some pieces off. So I'm just going to cut pieces like this. I'm not sure if it's the length. I think I have to cut it a little bit shorter here to fit into the waffle maker. So you're just supposed to place it on top and then it actually folds in, I believe. So hopefully I'm doing this right. And there's actually two spaces for two, so I may open up another package and do something in a different flavor. So hopefully that will work out properly. And let's see here. Okay, so I've got that. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but we'll find out. So maybe I will try another sweet one. How about we try the raisin and cinnamon? That one's just got raisin, cinnamon, and sea salt are the added ingredients. And then in the meantime, while I'm there, I'm going to go back to the stove and see how we're doing here. They're starting to warm up. Not quite there yet. So in the meantime, let's get this one going. And I don't know how long the waffle maker actually takes. Sorry, my face keeps going out of the camera here. So I'll take this off. And this is the cinnamon raisin. So we'll see how that one goes. And it's starting to warm up, the waffle maker, because I turned it on. And let's see. So you can't really see what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to actually close it now. And as it actually starts to go, hopefully there's enough. As it starts to melt down into the waffle maker, I'll be able to actually close it properly because I can't close it right now. So hopefully that'll work fine for us. So let's go back to here. The raisin, cinnamon. Looks like the ingredients are pretty much the same. Maybe a little more dietary fiber in that one. And then the Cashew-Date, has a little bit of sugar that the other one didn't have. I'm just checking on my. Okay, yeah, I can close the waffle maker now. And I don't know if I put in enough strips. Like I said, I've never done this before, so it might not come out exactly the way a waffle is supposed to look. Well, it's an experiment, and it's still something fun to do. They even mentioned here making mochi cookies, which sounds really good too. And on the package here for the date one, they talk about making a Danish. That sounds really interesting as well. So those are the two sweet ones I use, the raisin cinnamon and the Cashew-Date. Now I'm going to check on the stove again, so pardon me for a second, see how we're doing here. Oh, it's ready to turn over. So what it is I turn them over because it's in a pan, and I hear them start to bake. I'm going to actually lower it a little. It's gotten hot enough, and they're actually almost done. So when you're doing it on the stove, what you'll do is you'll rotate them, because they'll start to puff and move up from the pan, meaning they won't stick to it so much. So that's good to know. So this other one, which I think sounds really good, is their super seed. That one's got hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds, poppy seeds, and sunflower seeds, and a little bit of sea salt. And everything else seems to be the same as far as the ingredients and nutritional information. So in this one, they talk about making mochi chips. That sounds really good. Again, baking them in the oven. They give you recipes on the back of the packages as well. So when you get them, you might want to experiment with some of those. And the other one that I'm doing on the stove is the Sesame-Garlic. And again, similar nutritional information, not much different than the others. Like I said, the plain one, if you're a person who doesn't want salt in anything, you may want to try the plain one, because the plain one has no salt at all. But the salt is not a lot. I don't think it should make much of a difference. I'm going to check on the stove again, see how we're doing here. And I think we're almost done, actually. I'm turning them one more time, but I think they seem to be crunchy and chewy. So we're going to turn that down just a little bit more. And I believe with the waffle maker, it's an electric one. Oh, it just turned off, so I think our waffles are done too. Let's take a look. I smell the cinnamon. Let's see how we did here. I don't think, actually, maybe it's not done. It's actually sticking to the container. The actual light turned off, so I thought they were done. And maybe they are. Maybe they need to sit a minute. But I'm going to get the ones from the stove. Let me see. I had something to put down. I can't find where it went. Let me see. Excuse me for just a moment. I wanted to bring them over, but I think I'll just bring them over in the plate for you to see. So excuse me momentarily. I'll just put them on the plate so you can actually see what they look like all puffed up. So here's how they came out. You saw them before, and now they're puffy and chewy, and I can actually open them with my fork, and I'll show that to you. See how it's chewy now on the inside? I'm going to try it. So this was the sesame-garlic. That's very nice. It doesn't taste, I taste a little hint of garlic, but it's not super strong, like if you're a person who likes garlic, but not too much. It's actually quite nice. So, like I said, it looks like the waffle maker went back on, so perhaps they're not done yet. But these are really good. So that's it. It only took, I don't know, a few minutes to see how it's gooey like that, cheesy. So that's why it'd be so nice to make it, excuse me, in a pizza. Again, you don't have to give up cheese. You can have dairy-free cheese. That's what's so nice about this. So, some other ideas while we're waiting on the waffle to be done. They mentioned making casserole with them, making sauces, breadsticks. That sounds really good. What else? Baked mochi with winter squash. Well, the pan-fried is what I just did. With just a little bit of the coconut butter. And they say making an apple crisp. I'm making oatmeal cookies. So all those different ideas for you to try out. And again, it's a nice flavor, and you could also put something in here. Like I have a nut butter if you wanted to put a dab of something in here. And again, this is a savory one, so you'd want to stay with savory. Maybe you want to make a savory sauce for it. You know, that might work. So I'm going to check on the waffles. I think they might be done now. The light on the machine went on twice, so I'm not sure. Oh, I think they're done. That's good to, I can show it to you. Actually, one of them came out nicer than the other. So let's see how we're going to take this off. It's kind of sticking to the thing, so maybe it's not quite done yet. I'm not quite sure here. Oh, this one I think comes out. There we go. Here's one of them. The other one seems to be sticking to the package. So this one I believe was the date, the Cashew-Date one. So that's basically what they look like. I didn't put enough ingredients, so it kind of came off a little. And the other one, I'm going to see if I can kind of take it off of the container. It kind of went to the top. Very interesting. Oh, there we go. I got it. There's the other waffle. So that's what the waffles look like. So you could put something on them or just eat them as is. I'm going to try a little. They're quite hot still. So I'm just going to try a little bit. Very nice. Now, these are more crispy than the ones I did on the stove. And then this one, I don't remember which is which now. I think the first one I did was the Cashew-Date, and the Raisin-Cinnamon was this one. And it doesn't taste so sweet. I don't taste the sugar so much. But it is quite tasty. So I'm just going to go through the packages again so you know what you have the options to try out. We have here the Super Seed Mochi. And then we have the Sesame-Garlic Mochi, and that one I tried. And those are the savory variety. Then we have the original, which is just the rice and the water, no other ingredients. Then for the sweet varieties, we have the Cashew-Date. And I made a waffle from that. And the Raisin-Cinnamon, I made a waffle from that one. And then finally, the chocolate brownie with walnuts. So I hope now you're more informed on what mochi is and how to use it, and that you go ahead and get some and try it out. And I think you'll love it. And it's great for kids too, and they can have fun making things with them. And I thank you for watching. It's the Rawesome Vegan Gal.